was told I have fire in my system. I had more tequila. I didn't quite listen. Your friends say they know me. They say they listen, yes. They want a quick one, but I'm out.
Gave the bodies a bit of a time to relax. It's a new game, it's semi-final, so every other game is behind us now. We're happy to have, well, lost the toss, but we wanted to have batted first, so we're happy with that. Give the batsman who has got a good momentum time to spend some time in the middle, so we're happy with that.
Some team news.
Yeah, so we had a last-minute injury now to Durian Diergaard. So Idel van Sail will be replacing her, and Rihanna Khan will be the 12th man.
Tell me about this surface. You've played some games on it. What do you expect? What isn't enough in a semi-final?
Well, obviously we're aiming for a 120, 130 score. We will think that'll be enough with the bowlers and the fielding that we've got.
Good luck in your game.
Thank you.
Samantha, you lost the first toss in this tournament. Are you feeling a bit unlucky?
Not really, no.
Well, tell me, congratulations yesterday.
Thank you.
Are you still celebrating, or it's time for business now?
It's time for business. Yesterday is gone, so
And then, what's
no changes. We're maintaining the same team.
maintaining the same team?
Yes.
How many runs do you think you should restrict Namibia to on such a very good-looking wicket?
Maybe 100.
Anything else you would like to say before this game? How important is this game to you guys, the Nigerians, who are playing in this tournament for the first time?
It's very important to us. We will give it our best shot and we hope to qualify for the finals.
Good luck to you, Nigeria.
Thank you.
The toss will be happening in 10 minutes. Anthems, 10 minutes. I beg your pardon.
yeah, similar to Tash's thoughts. I think I really was able to kind of enjoy playing in New Zealand and not have too much in my mind to think about the future. Because I know that either way, there's going to be good quality cricket wherever you go and training wherever you go. And looking forward to the summer, there's obviously a lot of international cricket that's going on, but you know, if you don't make those squads, there's Hey-Ho Flint Trophy, there's a T20 Trophy to come back to and play a big role, which is obviously going to be a really good standard and play with a really good team as well. So I think it definitely takes a lot of pressure off and gives a different and new opportunity, which I'll be looking forward to. I took a lot from it, and yeah, like I said before, I was just able to kind of go out and enjoy kind of playing and being on the pitch with the girls and not have too much else in my mind. I think obviously the batting lineup in England at the minute is you know, the top 5-6 is full of world-class players, so it's very hard lineup to get into. And I think for me, I'm kind of trying to think of it as kind of like it's like a marathon, not a sprint, I guess. I'm, you know, fully confident in my ability, and if I do well and hopefully I get an opportunity, and if not, then you know, I try my best to get back in, but it's not the be all and end all just now. But yeah, I'll do everything I can to really break into that squad, and love to break into the ODI squad at some point in the near future. But I think for me, it's just taking each game as it comes and just trying to win each game, the stars really, and not think too much about the future in England selection, but just try and focus on the here and now and get a few games, get a few wins under the belt for the stars and get off to a good start. And yeah, and enjoy playing with the girls. They've had a really good winter, and it's been really fun to come back and join them this week, and I'm sure the next few weeks are also going to have a lot of laughs and a lot of fun on the pitch too.
So this is my kit bag. It's a very tiny one because in Mumbai I keep traveling up and down, so it's easier for me to carry stuff than when I'm on tour. I have a bigger one, of course. So I have a helmet, 2 pairs of gloves, one is inside the bag, one is here, and also I have a bandana, which I use it for my head, and I have leg guards. The thing I hate the most is just packing my kit bag. I mean, that's one of the most irritating things for me. Then I have my thigh guard and the inner thigh guard. And this is the chest guard I use especially when I'm practicing over here. I don't wear it during the matches, but when I'm practicing and especially facing bouncers or playing the boys, I do wear it for extra protection. And yeah, that's my kit bag. Carry a bat. On tour I carry maybe 3 bats. If it's a long tour, 4 bats. So yeah, that's it.
Onto an off-field. We recently in Pakistan, against Pakistan, we had a table tennis tournament, and I came out as the winner. So I think that was really special in the bio bubble, and we can't do too much. So our trainer put up a whole schedule for us to have a full-on table tennis tournament, and I came out on top. So I was pretty chuffed with that. Well, that's a tough one, but I think I'll have to go with a tennis player, Serena Williams. Definitely me. No, I'm joking. No, she's a pretty strong girl. I think she might. I think her biceps is a little bit bigger than mine, so I'm going to say Lazali will win that one. Let me go with, I was thinking while studying, I've got an honors degree in marketing, but I think I picked that because it was something that I could do with sport, but I probably think I would have become a medical rep if it was not for cricket, because that's something that you're on on the road quite often. I enjoy the medical side of things, but I'm not good with blood. So I thought it's a clean medical field. So being still involved with medicine, but maybe just working and just being a sales representative. Be ecstatic. I think he's such a skillful cricketer. Everybody calls him Mr. 360. So if I could get have one day and be that fantastic, I would take that any day. I'm gonna say Marizon Cup. I think she's a very skillful bowler, and I know she's really always in the nets. She's thinking about her bowling and really making it hard, and you're not always sure what she's gonna bowl, because she can swing the ball away, bring it back in. She's got some really good slower balls, and then she's worked on the odd bounces, so it's not knowing what to expect. And she's a very clever bowler, so I think she's one of the hardest bowlers to bat against. Ooh, I'm gonna go with a cannelloni. I think my husband really enjoys cannelloni, so I think that's the dish I'm gonna say out loud. I would have to go West Indies. I love tropical islands, and crystal clear blue waters is definitely for me. So I really enjoy traveling to the Caribbean. Oh, that's a challenging one. But I'm going to go with the one we had before. I'll go with AB de Villiers. I think the best advice that I've been given is if your dream does not scare you, it's not big enough. And the second one is to use your stumbling blocks as stepping stones.
Will be Vicky Prajapati. Vicky, you can put up your hand just for recognition. Thank you, Vicky. And the two tall men will be in the middle. Mr. NSC Habib from Nigeria and Mr. Eric Hirwa Dusambe Mungu. To get this game started, let's observe a moment of silence for the fallen victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. We can remove our caps, Team Nigeria. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Amen. The fixture says Namibia versus Nigeria. Of course, Namibia staying unbeaten throughout. That's why they are the home team. And then Nigeria playing a thriller in Manila yesterday evening and qualifying for this semi-final. We'll start with the Nigerian anthem. Now, on to the one from Namibia. Thank you for the beautiful anthems. Aaron Van Zyl, please lead your teammates. Say hi to Mr. Eric. I call him Tall Eric. Say hi to Vicky. And say hi to the big boy, NSC there. Share some commiserations. You can ask them, how was your night? Did you catch a movie? Very, very good rest there, Namibians. You had, we didn't see you at the park. You must have gone swimming. I reckon that.
It's knockout time in the Kwibuka T20 Tournament. 2 semi-finals today, the first of which will see table toppers Namibia take on Nigeria, who scraped into the final 4 by the skin of their teeth last evening. Welcome to our coverage of day 6 of this exciting tournament. We're bringing to you these pictures live from the Gahanga International Stadium in Kigali. Remember, Namibia cruised into the final 4, winning all 4 of their group games. They've been the best team in this tournament by a country mile, registering 4 rather comfortable victories. Opener Sune Whitman has been a revelation at the top of the order, combining quite brilliantly with the young Audrey van der Merwe. With the ball, off-spinner Victoria Hamuniela, who previously only bowled in 6 of her 12 T20Is before this tournament, now has 12 wickets to her credit. Nigeria, on the other hand, suffered 3 losses in the first 3 games, including an 8-wicket thrashing at the hands of Namibia in their opening encounter. But they came back superbly against Botswana yesterday, held their nerve and chased down a total of 107, getting home off the penultimate ball of the innings. Today, however, none of those results matter. Today, they can begin with a clean slate. So this morning, Namibia will bat first. Nigeria won the toss and opted to bowl. And joining me on commentary, we have another special guest, another member of the Associate Women in Cricket team, Priyanjali Jain. Priyanjali is a wicketkeeper batter who currently plays for the UAE. She previously played for Singapore and has played cricket for around 15 years now. Welcome, Priyanjali. Thanks for joining us on this broadcast.
Okay, we seem to have some slight issues with connection, but we'll sort that out. Sort that out in a bit. Nigeria preparing to take the field.
Thanks, Ananya.
good start this morning by Nigeria. They've dismissed the dangerous Sune Whitman. And I'm going to try this again, introduce our guest for today. Priyanjali Jain has played international cricket for both Singapore and the UAE for the fourth time, I think. Welcome, Priya.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yep, brilliant. They played off the back foot. Another single to the Namibian total. So Priya, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions since you're only here for a short while. Sure. And I'm going to start with something I discussed with Yasmin yesterday about visibility for associate teams. Get to that after this ball. So we've seen some excellent performances through the tournament. The power of Sune Whitman, Audrey van der Merwe is impressed as well. There have been a lot of players across all 5 teams that have been very, very impressive. And this is something we may have missed had these games not been streamed, obviously. So I want to understand, powerful shot, brilliant. I think that's Audrey van der Merwe. She's superb through the cover region, picks up another couple of runs. So I want to understand why you think visibility is important for associate teams. That's the first question, and you answer that, and I want to expand on that.
Sure. I mean, I think you sort of answered it a little bit yourself in the sense that, like you said, a lot of these players, they're playing so well. Sorry. So what I was saying is, as you said, the visibility is so important because that's when you get to know that you have players like this that have this kind of talent. It also really gives a lot of motivation to the players to play, play to their full potential. All of this exposure, like this tournament, for example, I think is absolutely amazing. It's one thing to be playing domestic cricket and playing against the boys or playing amongst each other. But you can really only apply yourself and get better when you're playing amongst, the best and playing internationally. So I think that's why it's really, 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 really important.
Short delivery, pulled away, didn't quite get it. Think they will cross over for a single. That's the power play done and dusted for Namibia. They move to 33 for 1. We will continue this chat in the next over. Three for 1, and I have with me Priyanjali Jain. So Priya, I'm going to expand on that question. And you said that it's great for these teams to be seen. We can then, I suppose, admire the talent of all these players that we generally normally wouldn't have seen. But on the flip side, for example, this tournament, Botswana was bowled out for 29. And performances like that always come with them. There are always going to be trolls who have something to say, question why these players are playing. So does that kind of reaction maybe put a lot more pressure on these teams when they are playing on a big stage, playing games that are being streamed live, because they then know that they have to perform at a higher level?
That's a good question. And I think a lot of teams have gone through that phase, right? Everyone starts somewhere. I mean, the UAE team ourselves, I think there was a time we got bowled out for 18, I think. And that's disheartening, but those are things that you learn from, and you need to go through those experiences, to become stronger and to work harder. And from that stage, from getting, like I said, bowled out, I don't remember the exact figure, but it was very low. And from that stage, we've qualified for the World Cup qualifiers at some point, in 2018. So I think, we came a long way. So have other teams. I mean, whether it's India, whether it's Pakistan, people have always had their disappointing matches and low scores and they got out for. But like I said, I think it's all part of the learning process. It's still important to go through that.
Good delivery there. That's Samson Rachel into the attack.
Good shot. Nigeria actually kept it pretty tight so far, except for that one, I think, miscatch, which might cost them because Audrey's still on the crease. But otherwise, they've kept it fairly tight.
Yes, they have. And Audrey van der Merwe is one of the better, or she is the highest run getter for Namibia T20 eyes. So very, very impressive. Admires Laura Wilvart, is very good through the offside, just like Wilvart. Smashes this one through mid-wicket. Good work at mid-wicket. Just a single there. Another thing that we've observed through this tournament is that all these are better fielding sides than they are, I suppose, batting sides. And it seems to be a trend in associate cricket where the fielding and the bowling is generally the stronger suit. So having played a lot of international cricket in UAE, Singapore as well, why do you think that is?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good shot. Yeah, you're right. I think generally with the bowling and the fielding is stronger. And I think what you'll see is when you go to the training sessions of all these teams and you go to the nets, you'll see the batsmen, smacking it around. And they have really good batsmen. It's not that the batsmen aren't, or I should say batters, sorry. There are really good batters out there. It's just that, you see, with batting, you only get one life, right? With fielding, with bowling, you can make a mistake and you can come back from it. You can even get a wicket on a bad ball. Right. So I think, and this is exactly why it's so important to play as many matches as possible, because that's when you get better and better. You learn how to hit in the gaps. You learn how to maneuver the field. That doesn't come from just practicing in the nets, right? Or just playing, let's say even having center wicket simulations. Those are good. But again, nothing compares to the match pressure and playing in a tournament like this. So I think that's where the more they play, the better we'll get.
Seven overs gone. Namibia are 41 for 1. Are moving nicely, although they lost Sune Whitman. Whitman, the highest run getter this tournament so far, over 150 runs, striking at 240. So it's a big wicket for Nigeria to have gotten early. Okay. Looks like a bowling change here for Nigeria. So Priya, you mentioned the global the qualifier earlier, saying UAE you did play the global qualifiers. Looking ahead, the regional qualifiers for the T20 World 2023 are coming, and you did say that a lot of teams you train a lot, but you don't play as many matches as you would want to. So in that context, how important do you think this tournament is for these teams, considering the Africa qualifiers are only a couple of months away?
Very important. I think it's something that we're all really, really looking forward to. It's that one big thing in the year that we're all training towards. I have to say that, I do see an improvement for sure, at least with UAE, but with other teams as well, in terms of the boards trying as much as possible to get the girls more matches, even if it is domestically. So even for us, we've played, at least 3 tournaments now against the boys. We've had domestic tournaments against the girls. There's almost now 100 girls playing in the UAE. So those teams, they created teams from that. Plus, we had a D10, which was a 10-over tournament, and that was actually broadcast, right? So that was also really, really good. So I think tournaments like this are really important. But again, this is something that's like the big stage, which everyone looks forward to. But I think it's still important to have the sort of the bilateral tournaments. And I understand, of course, COVID has had an effect, but even without COVID, we weren't playing as much as we would have liked to. I think we have an injury.
Yeah. Seems to have gotten hit. It looks okay. The umpire is not too worried. Walks back to her mark. Oh, excellent shot that. Namibian player. Oh, it seems like the fielder has gotten hit. Not sure who that is on the boundary. A superb shot there from Yasmin Khan. These Namibian batters really look good over covers, or over the offside. Can you explain to me how difficult those shots are?
It depends on the batsman. I think obviously everyone has their own strengths. Some are better on the offside, some are better on the leg side. But I think traditionally in the nets, you'll see people practicing their cover drives the most. But a lot of times you'll see the girls actually hitting the leg side more than the offside. So that's something I've noticed.
Hope this isn't too bad. Looks in a lot of pain there. Looks like the skipper, Samantha Agazuma. She has been very, very good in the infield, so surprised to see her out on the boundary. It's good to see her up on her feet again. But she looks to be in a bit of pain. Priya, I know you are a wicket keeper, but have there been times where you've had to forgo the gloves and field, maybe in the outfield?
A couple of times, I think. Not so much in international tournaments, but domestically, I think I have. And also because, you want to give the other keepers a chance as well. It's important to have at least two prepared keepers for a tournament because injuries are pretty common, at least finger injuries and things like that for a wicket keeper. So yeah, I have. I've bowled a little bit as well, but I definitely prefer keeping.
Okay, and can you tell me a little bit about your experiences fielding? Do you think, where would you classify yourself as a fielder? Good, average? I'm not going to say
I'm
bad.
all right. I'm all right. It's just that I think, see, the best part about keeping is you're always in the game, right? Every single ball, you're in the game, your focus is there 100%. Otherwise, that's when you're going to get the catch, when you're not focusing, right? But when you're out in the field, especially if you're on the boundary, it's a little bit difficult, as much as you should, of course, but it is a little bit difficult to keep your focus because, maybe you get one ball and 10 deliveries, you get one ball coming to you, maybe even less than that. So it can be a bit difficult to stay focused. But yeah, I'm all right.
So have there been times, or has there ever been a point where when you were fielding, when you weren't focused, you dropped a catch? And did the bowler or the captain glare at you?
No, I don't think that's happened. I think if it's come, and generally, if I do field, actually, they do put me in the 30-yard circle, because at least if it's a flat catch, I'm pretty good at that. It's the high catches that I don't get enough practice with, so I generally don't field too far out.
Do you have a decent arm? Because I know a lot of keepers who probably have stronger arm than many fielders. So
yeah, not too bad. Not the strongest arm, but strong enough to throw it in from the boundary.
Players Pot is India's #1 gaming destination. #Khela kya? I hope you've all made your Players Pot teams. If not, download the app. The link is in the description. It seems like a very, very long medical break here. I'm not sure if Agazuma is still on the field, but both Desmond and Agazuma got some treatment. Desmond's here, still has to complete her over. Couple of balls remaining. Yasmin Khan on strike, batting on 22 of 16. Hasn't quite been in the runs this tournament. Oh, there, Agazuma hopping on the boundary. Looks like she's going off the field. Looks to be in a lot of pain. Hopefully she's fit enough to bat. She is one of Nigeria's stronger batters. After a long break, looks like play is going to resume.
It's a good
and
ball.
It's a dot ball. Single to end the over. Namibia chugging along 46 for 1 in 8 overs.
It's a pretty decent start considering they haven't lost many wickets.
It is a good start from them. It's slightly slower than they're usually used to. We've seen Sune Whitman get out of the blocks quite quickly, but after her dismissal, Vandermerwe, Yasmin Khan doing a good job. So if you were in the batting side at this point, 46 for 1, 8 overs, there are 12 overs left. What kind of score would you be looking at, or what instructions would you be giving the batters?
I think the main thing right now is for the two batsmen to decide who's going to accelerate and who's going to sort of anchor the innings. So the person who's anchoring should really be giving as much strike to the other person, and the other person can really, go for it. That's not to say play silly shots, but really, the balls that are there to be hit should be hit, right? And someone needs to take a little bit of risk. And right now, I guess both of them are sort of I don't know if that role's been defined yet between the two batsmen yet.
That's true. And it's interesting you say that there should be an anchor, because what we've seen through this tournament is, looks like they're playing on a different surface today, but tournament what we've seen is that once the spinners come on in the middle overs, runs really dry up.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously during that time, when there are new batters coming in, they find it hard to get off strike, to find runs. So the back 10 overs are usually lower scoring. So looking at it this way, Van der Merwe is on 19 off 25, Yasmin Khan striking it well, 22 off 17. Which one would you want to be the one who plays the anchor role?
I would say Audrey should be playing the anchor role, and she should try to stay there for the entire innings, or at least as long as she can. Whereas Yasmin Khan should really be accelerating right now and going for the shots. They are looking to play in the gaps, which is a positive sign. But I think a few boundaries here, like this one, are exactly what they need at this point.
Like you said, Khan looks to press the accelerator, just manages to clear the fielder. Boundary to her. Another strong shot there from the Namibian vice-captain. Through the infield, she wants to. Rightfully sent back. Down the ground from Van der Merwe.
Yep, that's it. Rotating strike. That's all they need to keep doing.
And a single to end the over. 9 overs gone. Namibia 51.
Keepers' helmets on. Seems like the spinners are going to be starting their spell.
Speaking of helmets, are you a keeper who wears your helmet, or do you prefer to keep with a cap?
Oh, always. Always wear my helmet on.
Oh, that's great to know.
I had an incident early on. I had an incident where I actually got hit in the face. Practicing this without my helmet. So
a wise decision. There have been a lot of instances where keepers have been hit wearing a cap. So, and of course, so are you someone who say all batters should wear helmets when they're batting? Because yesterday we did see one of the batters get hit on the head. I think it was Agatha Obalur got hit on the head because of a wayward throw. So is that something you'd recommend?
I mean, it's a personal choice, but I would, of course, recommend it for sure. And it's not because, it's not so much when the bowler's bowling to you that you're worried. It's more about, deflections and like you said, a throw comes in and you're not necessarily looking at that time, and it hits you, and it's not worth it, to be honest, right? And we've seen that on the cricket field. It's really, really not worth it. So I would definitely recommend it, but at the end of the day, it is a personal choice.
Wayward there from Desmond Mary. Good looking stroke off the back foot there from Yasmin Khan. Good in the over. Mary Desmond. She's bowled 2 overs, just 11 runs. Namibia are now 60 for 1 in 10 overs. Ten overs gone. The halfway stage, Namibia sitting pretty, 60 for 1. Slightly wild slog there, but no one at fine leg region. Should come back for 2. Yasmin Khan is an interesting one. She has played every game for Namibia so far, but she wasn't quite in the runs in the first few games. So how much effort do you think it would have taken for her to pick herself up as a senior player and to make sure she scores some runs in a knockout game?
Yeah, it's not easy, honestly. That's a good shot right there. Very good shot. And good fielding effort too.
Again, the fielding. Fantastic work there on the boundary. Come back for 2.
Yeah, as I was saying with Yasmin, I think or for any batsman for that matter, it's not easy when you're not getting the runs and you feel like you're going through that patch, because it's almost like a downward spiral that you have. You start questioning your own ability, but as soon as you get a few runs, even if it's 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs, and it starts to build up, that's how you build your confidence. So I think that's the main thing for batsmen, and I think the senior players know that. That is just about sort of staying there, getting a few runs. That gives them the confidence to score more. And I'm sure this match today and all the runs she's scoring right now is really going to give her the confidence for the next one, whether it is tomorrow or it is another day. But it is going to give her the confidence to bat well in the next match.
Is looking good there. Mistimed shot, but she will get around the ground. It looked like a slight change of pace there from Rachel Sampson. Slower delivery. So what kind of target would you be aiming for? They were 60 for 1 at the halfway mark, now 65 for 1 in 10.4 overs.
Honestly, the way they're going, they should be able to put at least 135, 140 on the board. I know they're targeting 120, but the fact that they're already halfway there, you can really accelerate in the last 5 overs as well. I think I would say if I was their coach, I would expect at least 135. But I think that would be a competitive score for them.
Well, it is a fresh surface, so I'm sure that will help Namibia. It's not a tired surface. They played on the previous one for 5 days. With a good late cut there from Van der Merwe. He's really milking that backward point region. Come back for 3. Well, 11 overs now. Namibia 7. Namibia moving along nicely, 70 for 1 in 11 overs. Jan says they should target 135 with 9 wickets in hand. That's definitely possible. Mary Desmond, it looks like, coming in for her 3rd over. The spinners have bowled well. She's just conceded 11 runs off her 2 overs. So Priya, do you prefer to keep to the spinners or the seamers? Prefer standing up or standing back?
I think the spinners, yeah.
And so what we've seen through this tournament is that a lot of the spinners are very, very slow through the air. How challenging is it to keep your position, to hold your position for a little longer than practicing with the boys? Say?
Yeah, you're right. It's quite challenging because you really have to make sure you don't get up too quickly, and that's the mistake I think most keepers make, is they get up too quickly, and that's when you miss the snicks, or goes through the legs. But yeah, I think with practice, and because you're keeping to your own bowlers, whether it's in the nets or whether it's practice games, you get used to it. But yeah, I think that's the main thing you have to keep reminding yourself, is just stay low, don't get up too quick.
Well, it's one thing to tell yourself that, but in a game situation, when you're desperate for a wicket and you see the batter jump down the track, you know that there's a big opportunity. How do you stop yourself from grabbing the ball?
Yeah, absolutely. I think again, I think like I said, it comes with practice. But you're right, that natural instinct is there. I think it's like a wicketkeeper's eyes become twice as big when they see the batsman jump out of the crease, hoping that yes, this person's going to miss it now and I'm going to get a stumping. But yeah, I think that's a good ball there.
Good ball, but slightly poor shot, it looks like, from Van der Merwe. Lets it go through her legs. It hits her pad and it's her leg stump. Oh, as you're leaving, it seems you're taking a Namibian wicket with you. Audrey Van der Merwe bowled for 28 off 35.
That was a much needed breakthrough for Nigeria.
So it looks like it went through her legs there. Didn't even hit her pad. Through the shot too early. Namibia now 73 for 2 in 11.5 overs. All-rounder Kayleen Green comes to the middle. One of the most experienced players for Namibia. They've set a good base. have Vandermarva and Yasmin Khan. Close to a 59-run stand between them. So set a good foundation now for Green and the likes of Irene Van Zyl to make. Down the leg side from Desmond. So Priya, before you leave, I'm going to ask you to make a prediction. Who is, one, what will Namibia finish with? And two, who do you think will win? I know it's not even halfway. I mean, the game's not halfway, but who's going to win?
That's a tough one, to be honest. But at this stage, I would say I think I stick to the prediction. Even with the loss of this wicket, I'd still say, around 130, 135. I still think they can get that, especially if Yasmin Khan stays on. In terms of who's gonna win, I would have to go with Namibia. Although I like to see the underdog win, I think it might be.
'Well, thanks a ton, Priya, for joining us. It was brilliant to have you and listen to your insights.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And good luck for everything that's lined up.
Thank you.
"12 overs gone. Namibia 74 for 2. And as Yasmin Khan plays a powerful cut, another run to her. My colleague S. Sudarshanan joins me. Green off the mark with that single to extra cover.
My first thoughts about thanks for having me back. And my first thoughts are that Namibia seem to be in some kind of pressure on the big match day because they've not teed off at any point. Yasmin Khan's there in the middle.
Just as you come in, she's tried to play an expansive shot, but dropped it long on. Again, the long on fielder slightly wide. Looks like Mary Desmond there. Slightly wide, she covered the ground, ran towards her left, but put down the catch. Like Yasmin Khan really got hold of it. Got 1 run. Short delivery pulled away by Kaylin Green. Just 1 run to deep mid wicket. Favour Sigby. She created a chance for Nigeria. Could have been a quick couple of wickets, the 2 set batters, but they put Yasmin Khan down. How much will they pay for that? She's looked good today. Oh, and as if to rub salt in the wound, short delivery down the leg side, and she pulls that for a boundary. Oh, Nigeria will be ruining that chance. 13 overs gone. 82 for 2, Namibia.
Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. अपने hashtag खेला क्या?
Down the leg side, the keeper misses it. Nigeria letting it go. The 5 runs, that ball runs away to the boundary. So 4 plus the wide, 5 runs added to Namibia's total.
One of those that
Fosa
goes to the
Joy.
keeper's account there. She did try a half dive, couldn't stop it at all.
Not a great start for Fosa Joy. Back can spell her final over of the game. She did dismiss Sune Whitman. This time short again, pulled away. It's a good shot, but there is a deep mid-wicket fielder in place, so they will only get 1. Kayleen Green has come out. She's finding the middle of the bat.
I think Nigeria have been a bit clever about their bowling attack so far. They realized it's tough to get away with the spinners and delayed the favor Sigby's entry to the attack. But it's only 8 overs of spin that they have. Try to spread it as much as possible.
Whoosh. A polite inquiry there. It looked far too high. Final 3 deliveries of Fosa Joy's spell. Like I said, she did get the big wicket of Sune Whitman early on. Gone for 6 of 8 deliveries. Oh, no ball. And crashed through the covers. It's good work by the fielder in the deep. But they come back for 2. Kayleen Green has looked very good. She's played 6 deliveries onto 5 runs, and now she has a gift, a free hit. Steps down the track, tries to card it away, but only gets an inside edge. The keeper, Abigail Igbobi, runs after it. They manage a couple. There's a single. 1 run, Yasmin Khan back on strike. She's batting on 44 of 33. Oh, and a good cut shot there. Fosa Joy has been quite short in this over. She's getting punished. They haven't quite found the boundary. A short ball pushed away to deep extra cover. A single completes the over. Namibia, 14 overs gone, 94 for 2.
Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Play fun games on the app and win up to rupees 5 crores every day. #Khela Kya. The link is in the description. Sigby is back for her second over, 1 over 8 for her so far. 6 overs to go from this stage. 95 for 2 are where Namibia are. Kaylin and Green at 7. Yasmin Khan really look good.
Short ball, well fielded in the cover region. Oh, it's a dot ball. Very, very good work there in the field. Nigeria are up and about. They haven't bowled quite well, but their fielders have really kept them in the game. Is that a drop chance? Looked like she got an edge there. But did the keeper put it down? Just when I was praising them, something like this had to happen.
A very good over for Nigeria. Almost nothing out of it, just this single. What's surprising was they didn't take those quick singles that were on offer, at least on 2 occasions.
Another good ball there from Favourite. He's really giving them absolutely to work with. Ace it all. 15 overs gone. Score moves to 97 for 2. Namibia are now 97 for 2. Samantha Agazuma, it seems, has not returned to the field after getting hit. She was on the boundary, seemed to injure her leg. And it looks like Agatha Obulu, who is leading the side, standing in for Agazuma. Apologies, Mary Desmond comes in for her final over. Desmond dismissed Audrey van der Merwe, 28-85. Short delivery. Yasmin Khan crashes it off the back foot. We'll get another couple. Namibia. She moves along to 48 of 36. She really has looked very good, hasn't she, Yasmin Khan, today?
She has. She's been really busy keeping the scoreboard ticking at the beginning and 4 fours only. And she's been given a life early on, of course, and full use of it. And yet another half century. It'll really look good, keeping the scoreboard moving.
A lovely cover drive there. Just a single. Again, Nigeria seem to be quick on the boundary, quick to the ball, quick release, denying Yasmin Khan a second run. Mary Desmond has also just conceded 20 runs. Couple of deliveries left in her spell. She's been good for Nigeria all through this tournament.
What's not been good for Namibia is Kaylee Nangin, who seems to be stuck a bit. 9 runs and 15 balls, walking in at that crucial number 4 position. She probably needs to accelerate a bit more, or at least be quick in giving the strike back to Yasmin Khan.
Good way to end her spell. Mary Desmond finishes with a dot. 4 overs, 1 for 20 for her. Right, now 16 overs gone. Namibia 102 for 2. Sudarshanan, score predictions.
I would want them to get at least 125, given the number of wickets in hand, given the base they have.
And it looks like Kayleen Green has found the boundary. You've asked for her to accelerate, and she has. Full toss there from Sigby. Not the best delivery, but she picks the gap nicely with that slog. Much needed boundary for Namibia. The first off Kayleen Green's bat, just the 5th innings. It's a good way to start the over.
It's a gift, isn't it, for a batter who's not able to get away from strike, not able to get it off the surface as well. You give a nice, lovely full toss, he duly dispatches it to the mid-wicket end.
Good way to get to the other end. Another slightly short delivery there from Favour Sigby. Now Yasmin Khan, 49 of 39 deliveries. Another dot ball. Do you think the pressure of that half century, the looming half century, is playing on her mind?
Certainly. You see the way she's played those last 2 balls. Just wants to get done with that 50-run mark.
Nigeria seem to be playing on those nerves. Dots piling up. Has she hauled out? Oh, is that a 6? It looks like a 6. Yasmin Khan gets to her half century with a boundary. But was that a chance for Nigeria? Ooh, just over. Again, through the hands of that fielder there, that long off. But what a way to get to a half century. Just the second of her T20I career. Yasmin Khan, 55 of 42 deliveries. She's looking to find the boundary now. 670. Players Pot is India's #1 gaming destination. Apne hashtag khela kya? And if you have played, I hope you have Yasmin Khan in your team because she scored big points today. 55 of 43 deliveries, just her second half century of her T20I career. She's Namibia's second highest run getter, and she stepped up on the big stage.
That one fearless shot that got to her 50, she should have done it a bit earlier. She played a couple of dots, almost 3 dots before that. Then that release shot. I think Nigeria will be ruining the fact that they missed getting her out twice at least before that 50-run mark.
Rachel Sampson into the attack on the pads, but Yasmin Khan gets through for one, gets back on strike. Now that she's crossed mark, 50 runs, we've seen that she has power, we've seen that she can find the boundary. 113. She hoiks another one, this time through the leg side. But there is a fielder in the deep. Long on does the cleaning up. And they get back for 2. That's fantastic running there from Kayleen Green. Good fitness from Yasmin Khan as well. We have seen batters tire and hole out in the deep towards the end of their innings. The Khan's looking good.
Suddenly become a bit more fearless, a bit more free. And starting to play her shots, but I really was surprised because this wasn't her first 50. She was playing like someone who's eyeing her maiden half century. She has, remember, the fastest 50 for a Namibia player, so she can play fearlessly. That's what she's shown from the start, and then after that 50-run mark, that middle phase.
And another boundary this over. Yes, this time off the bat of Kayleen Green. She struggled when she came in. She struggled for a few deliveries, but now she's found the boundary twice. And Namibia look to be motoring. They've crossed that 120 mark. So how much should they be aiming for? You said 125. They will most certainly pass that. Priyanjali said 135. Hopefully they get past that too. Do you think somewhere closer to 140, 145 is what they should be looking at now?
They certainly should. They certainly should. It is also smart batting from Kayleen and she saw that ball to swing right-hander, got inside the line and played it with the angle, but 140 is very much on from this stage. 15 balls still to go. And they'd really be disappointed if they don't. Now target has shifted to 150.
On the pads again. Just a leg by. That fine leg region seems to be empty. An innovative batter you'd think would try and play a scoop or access that region. But we haven't seen any of these teams try and find that area yet. Good flick shot from Yasmin Khan. Seemed to race off her bat, that delivery. Rachel Sampson again getting the ball to swing in, veering into the... Yasmin Khan gets a good piece of it, but fantastic work there in the deep. Cleans up. Nigeria just concede a couple of runs. And another strong shot this time. This is superb batting from the Namibian vice-captain. Has she found the rope? Is that a six? It looks like a six. And looks like a six, I think. But it really raced off her bat. She's looking good, Yasmin Khan. She's unleashing that power, finding the boundary with ease. Her second six of the game. Namibia now 18 overs, 130 for 2. Eighteen overs gone, 130 for 2, Namibia. This has been a really fantastic knock from Yasmin Khan. Wasn't in the runs in the previous games. Wouldn't have been happy with the way she's been getting out. But today, come the semi-final, come the knockout game, vice-captain steps up. 64 of 46. 4 boundaries and 2 sixes. And it looks like she's getting started. Flighted delivery there from a Sigby favor. Crunched over covers from Kaylina Green. She gets off strike and feeds the strike to Yasmin Khan. That's 6 off the final delivery of the previous over. She looks like she wants to keep finding the boundary now.
Intentions pretty clear. She's bashed the seamer. Parked 4 overs for 41. Samson Rachel, the most expensive figures, if my memory correct, in this Kwibuka T20 tournament. Now she's targeting the...
Doesn't quite get that one. Steps out again. Will they come back for 2? Kaylina Green has been pushing Yasmin Khan. Yes, they do. Another 2 to that total. This is good running, Kaylina Green. She wants Yasmin Khan on. Full delivery goes for the slog sweep. And another drop catch. Oh, Nigeria. You are not helping yourselves. Mary Desmond. She's made a mat. Full loopy delivery. Yasmin Khan doesn't quite get hold of it. Mary Desmond rushing in from the long on fence. Makes a meal of it. It goes for 4. As good as Nigeria's fielding has been today, the catching has been terrible. And again, another, the second in 2 balls goes a begging. This time it's a Fosa Joy at long off. What is happening here? Again, another full delivery she gets. She tries to lift it over the offside. Again, doesn't quite get it. Drops short, it seems, of the long off fielder. But it goes through her legs. 8 runs, 2 balls. What could have been 2 wickets, or what could have been the back of Yasmin Khan, has now cost Nigeria runs. This time she goes over. Good work. Just a single. Oh, Nigeria. 19 overs gone, 142 for 2. Yasmin Khan on 76 of 52 deliveries. Make a match-winning team and win up to rupees 5 crores every day. Hashtag Khela Kya? Well, I hope you have included Yasmin Khan in your team, because today she is on 75 of 51 deliveries, boundaries and 2 sixes. I'm sure she's won a lot of points on Players Pot. So download the app now. The link is in the description. 6 balls, Sudarshanan. How much does Yasmin Khan want to add to this total?
36 if you ask me, if you ask her as well. But poor acceleration, it has been 55 of 42, and for the next 7 balls, 9 back, she's rushed to 20 more. She's added 20 more. So it's been really, she's gone from 3rd gear to directly the 5th gear, not even the 4th.
Down the ground, a misfield there, and they come back for 2. I think Kailina Green is going to run 2 for everything now. She wants Yasmin Khan back on strike. It's good work there from Green. But again, poor from Nigeria. They're really falling apart, it seems, last few overs.
That onslaught, I think they didn't foresee it's coming, Nigeria.
Steps out. Just a single to long on. Nigeria will be breathing a sigh of relief. Kailin Green strike now. How much damage can she do? Slow, full delivery. Just push to mid-wicket. Seems Ulma is back on the field. Still not 100% at mid-wicket. See that knee. Green swings at 1. Gets it through mid-wicket for a boundary. Dot ball the previous ball. Now she's found the boundary. 150 up for Namibia. This is brilliant from this pair. They've really accelerated in the last 4 overs.
It was in the slot, wasn't it? Team blessing. A person should know what kind of delivery she as a batter likes, and she gave it a length.
And that's more. Another one swung through mid-wicket. Between long on and mid-wicket, it looks like. Kailina and Green. Oh my. If she looked scratchy in between, she's really found her flow now. Another slower delivery, just back of a length. She smacks it between long on and deep mid-wicket. Another boundary to the total.
She's made her intentions very clear.
Final ball. She steps down the track, smacks it to the deep extra cover fielder. They come back for two. Good running from Yasmin Khan. Namibia 156 for two in their 20 overs. Oh my, this has been excellent batting. Last 5 overs, Nigeria have conceded 59 runs. Yasmin Khan and Kalinan Green. This is brilliant batting. 78 from 53 for the Namibia vice captain. And Kalinan Green finishes on 29 of 25 with 4 boundaries.
What a partnership this has been. 83 of just 50 balls, as you said. And that 2 for when they lost their second wicket at 73. Almost at a runner ball, and you Namibia haven't made the appearance in the knockout game, but here they are of this innings, 156 for 2, and it's all been Yasmin Khan show, 78 of 53.
Yes, Yasmin Khan really stepped up. Cometh the hour, cometh the woman, and she's really stepped up for Namibia. The vice captain wasn't quite in the runs to start, but she's found her form just when they needed her. Sunay Whitman dismissed early, just 6 of 8 deliveries, but the vice captain stepped up, the big hitter. She found her flow. She came in, looked brilliant from the very start, found the middle of the bat, 6 to her name, and 2 sixes. The only 2 batters to find the boundary, Yasmin Khan and Kalinan Green. That partnership there, just brilliant.
Nothing really to write about the bowling of Nigeria. It was almost symbolic that their skipper got injured very early on in this big clash. From there, they couldn't really recover. The spinners did seem to have them under control. Desmond Mary, 4 overs, 20 for 1. And they also delayed introducing Esigby Favour into the attack, but none of it mattered as Namibia end up with 1-6 for 2.
onto an off field. We recently in Pakistan, against Pakistan, we had a table tennis tournament, and I came out as the winner. So I think that was really special in the bio bubble, and we can't do too much. So our trainer put up a whole schedule for us to have a full-on table tennis tournament, and I came out on top. So I was pretty chuffed with that. Well, that's a tough one, but I think I'll have to go with a tennis player, Serena Williams. Definitely me. No, I'm joking. No, she's a pretty strong girl. I think she might. I think her biceps is a little bit bigger than mine, so I'm going to say Lazali will win that one. Let me go with, I was thinking while studying, I've got an honors degree in marketing, but I think I picked that because it was something that I could do with sport, but I probably think I would have become a medical rep if it was not for cricket, because that's something that you're on the road quite often. I enjoy the medical side of things, but I'm not good with blood. So I thought it's a clean medical field. So being still involved with medicine, but maybe just working and just being a sales representative. Be ecstatic. I think he's such a skillful cricketer. Everybody calls him Mr. 360. So if I could get have one day and be that fantastic, I would take that any day. I'm gonna say Marizon Cup. I think she's a very skillful bowler, and I know she's really always in the net. She's thinking about her bowling and really making it hard, and you're not always sure what she's gonna bowl, because she can swing the ball away, bring it back in. She's got some really good slower balls, and then she's worked on the odd bounces, so it's not knowing what to expect. And she's a very clever bowler, so I think she's one of the hardest bowlers to bat against. Ooh, I'm gonna go with a cannelloni. I think my husband really enjoys cannelloni, so I think that's the dish I'm gonna say out loud. I would have to go West Indies. I love tropical islands, and crystal clear blue waters is definitely for me. So I really enjoy traveling to the Caribbean. Oh, that's a challenging one, but I'm going to go with the question we had before. I'll go with AB de Villiers. I think the best advice that I've been given is if your dream does not scare you, it's not big enough. And the second one is to use your stumbling blocks as stepping stones.
Am I audible now? Right, hello and welcome back to the ranches of the first semi-final between Namibia and Nigeria. You're watching Women's Cricket Zone coverage of the Kwibuka T20 Tournament. It's been a high-scoring innings. Namibia batted first and put up 156 for 2. The tall ask for Nigeria as we see them getting their last huddles out of the way. And I'm joined by a special guest for this segment. He's going to have a short stint with us, Mr. Suhail Chandok. Welcome, Suhail. How are you doing?
Good, Sudarshan. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed watching the league so far, and good to see the slot as well coming through from the Namibia women. Nice to see the highest score of the tournament as well. So a big chase on the cards for sure.
Yes, indeed. 156 for 2 is what Namibia have got. The matches are at the Gahanga International Cricket Stadium in Kigali, which is in Rwanda. Favour Esigbe is all in readiness to open her batting. But your thoughts on this score, 156 for 2? Your gut say, is it chaseable? Is it Nigeria's day or is it Namibia for the final?
My gut still says Namibia. I think the momentum definitely with Namibia. I think a few misfields from Nigeria didn't help either. But Yasmin Khan was brilliant. 78 or 53. The way she approached the final end of that innings was just simply superb. It's what you expect from someone like her, vice captain, standing up when she really needed to as well, and when the team needed it most. So great to see the way she built her innings as well. So I've got a feeling it's Namibia all the way. But look, we've seen stranger things in T20 cricket, so let's hope Nigeria can dig deep.
Indeed, Nigeria's batting hasn't been the strongest, but they had a very close yesterday. 109 will be to give them confidence about as we see the openers Omone Asika and Favour Esigbe walk middle. And but to the game, you've been coaching women's cricket in Australia in 8. One of Megan Shute, who's well known in the cricketing circuit. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, it was a wonderful experience. I spent about 4.5, 5 years playing cricket myself in Adelaide, playing with the Redback second 11, playing A-grade cricket there. But it was great to have also coached the women's side for 2.5 years. Megan Shute, Shelly Nish, who was the world's #1 player at the time, as well as in the bat. And I think Megan, to see her career it's fantastic. I think for me, it came full circle when I saw them win the World Cup here in Bombay as well. So for me, it was a really nice moment when I saw Megan lift the World Cup trophy. So yeah, it's been special.
Ball number 1, it's Wilka Mwatile opening the attack for Nigeria. And Favour Esigbe takes strike. It's an interesting combination, a left-right opening combination for Nigeria with the bat. Omone Asika is strangely at the non-strikers end right now as we speak. And Wilka Mwatile as before. How does it feel to see a World Cup winner in Megan Shute? You have interacted with her in the past.
Yeah, I think it's the approach, right? When I coached way back, this is 2008 and 9. You saw that there was such in Megan back then as well. You see the approach, you see the understanding of the game, and also to bowl in every situation. I think that's carried her well and truly forward as well. And now to be spearheading Australia's attack is quite special. And I think when the women here from Namibia, Nigeria, and all of these countries that are developing, they look up to girls like Megan and really take so many lessons from it as well.
A good couple of deliveries from Wilka Mwatile. What is the length that she started with? It's been a quiet start so far.
I think the power play is going to be critical, absolutely critical, because they're going to have to get off to a good start. But given the length seeing from Wilka Motile early on, it's not going to be easy for the Nigeria batter.
Real good quiet start this favor. It's them to be accumulators rather than accelerators. Then inside edge, almost on another day, it might have been a wicket for Wilka Motile. But an inside edge means that favor Sigby and Nigeria get going.
Well, runs on the board, important. I think it doesn't matter how they come. And we all know at the end of the day, you want runs on the scoreboard. You're never going to look back and think, well, that was off a French cut and this was off a late cut and that was off a glorious cover drive. It's how many runs on the board that really matters. So good to see the runs on the board finally, and they'll need a whole lot more of them soon.
The slight appeal, but I think they pitched outside leg. So that ends the first over, a relatively quiet one without loss. Player Spot is India's #1 game nation. Play fun games on the Player Spot app and win up to ₹5 crores every day. #. The link is in the description. We saw a quiet first over from Wilka Motile. Here's the second over. That's a gentle inquiry. Kaylin and Green takes the new ball. Quite couple of starts.
Yeah, nice to see Kaylin and Green in hand. Late runs, good little onslaught towards the back end, and confidence with the ball will carry through from there. We see that again, great trajectory, lovely drift, a bit of turn as well. So early pressure certainly on Nigeria's women here. And we talked about getting off to a positive start. That's not been easy given the quality of bowling we've seen from Namibia so far.
That once again easily works away on the pads. Here's a question, an interesting one, and an early one I want to ask you. Which school of thought are you someone who backs your strength in a game like this and you are batting strong? You want to and put that run, or you will rely on your strength, which is and prefer chasing in a crunch this?
Tough to say, right? In a crunch game, we always talk about runs on the board being vital. I think every coach will go out there, put runs on the board. You will have the ability to strangle, the batters later in the game. And it's about understanding the opposition. If you think they've got, the capabilities to go the big yards and the long yards, it's a different game. But we've seen that Nigeria have struggled with that. We saw that in the game versus Namibia early in the tournament as well on the 6th of June. They were struggling at 52 for 8 in their 20 overs. So given the history of it, I think, they're backing themselves here. And this is great bowling again.
Another over, which ends the over. 2 overs gone, 2 without loss. Motile continues. There's a bit of a slight hesitation and they don't take a run. But tell me how important visibility becomes for the team, the associate team in the Kwibuka T20 tournament. It's of course the first time these games are being live streamed. Visibility for the associate sides. What's your take on that?
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, full ICC status in 20 really is, as you said, a fantastic platform ahead as well. Again, excellent delivery, cramping of a room. But, the platform also is important because it's head of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Africa in September in Botswana. And I think that gives you all the more reason to not just gain match experience, but also level up from here. When you're watching the likes of Australia, England, India compete at the world stage, you want to be there. And this is that first stepping stone on a great platform like this as well with broadcasts too.
Really keeping it in line of the stance. And you've been a part of the broad. You've interacted with players across sport, not just. And does it really make a difference in team preparations, team when the games are telecast and when they are not?
I think mentally you don't quite think about it too much. Again, full delivery this time, can't quite find the gap. And I think that's the biggest difference with the Namibia batters. We saw them find the gaps late in the innings, but good being played, just finding the fielders. Just coming back to your question, I think, Sudarshan, it's important to understand the mindset. And the only way to get better is to play tournament TVs on you with the bigger platforms when the spotlight's on you. The more you do that, you think about it, and the more you're able to handle the pressure nicely.
Indeed, it's another quiet, really. We are into the third over. Nigeria teams are all in their shell, not able to really react. They seek the favor. We've seen her open the innings. We've seen Omoni Asika, which is another play and a miss. Beautiful bowling that. Omoni Asika is a lot of 16 balls in. She's just faced balls, which means it's much changing the bowler, not rotation of the. Shot. Wonderfully played. Finally, Esigbe favor might get one gap. Might not go to the fence, but they should come back for 3. Excellent running between there. And that's the end of the overs without loss.
Kane Green back into the attack. She's been excellent with the bat. Very efficient with the ball so far as well. 5 for no loss, Nigeria, but they'll need to move on quickly, chasing the highest target so far in the 2021 Kwibuka T20 tournament. We've talked about the lengths that they've bowled as well early on, and it's been excellent. Tight lines, fabulous lengths, and the fielding has been helping the cause beautifully. What's important as well in the power plays is that they're running through their overs. As a batting unit, last thing you want. Often you want to be able to pace your innings, find your feet, but what Namibia beautifully is running through their overs, and before you know it, there's 3 overs down at the end of this one, and suddenly it just piles the pressure on in the power play. They're struggling to get going here.
What would your advice be in such a situation? Would you want both the openers to get set or do you want one to get going straight away?
I think the hard part about getting set in a T20 game, as we see the end of that over 5 for no loss, we'll come back to that question, Sudarshan.
Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Play fun game spot app and win up to ₹5 crores daily. #Khela Kya. Remember to download the app from the link in the description. Yes, Suhail, let's come to that discussion that we were having.
Yeah, I think, to settle in a T20 game can often be dangerous for the batters coming through later, because suddenly you see the escalating run rate, and it bode well, especially when you're chasing in a big game. I think it's also about taking that early strategic risk, right? I don't mean go hammer and tongs from ball one, but when you've got the field up, it's all about one shot over mid-off or one shot covers, and you'll suddenly push a fielder back. Then you take the single. It's about that strategy of then rotating the strike. We've seen the rotation of strike. Even there, it's a push to mid-off rather than looking to, just nudge it around, maybe to short mid-wicket. Find a single, pinch a single, and keep the bowlers guessing as well. Keep the fielders on their toes. I just think and settle in. You don't quite have that momentum building. It not only puts pressure on you to suddenly go, but it also puts pressure on the batters to come.
That's worked away nicely. Wonderfully opening the face of the bat. Will it be the first boundary? Yes, it is. Finally, Favour Sigbe gets one to her name.
I think what the hallmark of that stroke, again, was the timing of it. She didn't try to hit it too hard, just caressed the ball between third man and point. And it was beautifully played. Very crafty in the end, using the pace of the bowler. And that's what you need in these early power plays. To over the top every delivery. It's about using the pace, using the field, and manipulating that, and that's great to watch. Boundary much for them as well.
Defended nicely. We're seeing almost to the end of the 5th over, and Nigeria haven't yet reached the 10-run mark as well, which means the run rate is quite an issue at the start because they're chasing, remember, 157. Is it also because of the lack of game time that these teams are having?
Absolutely. I don't think a lot of these girls have found themselves in this position before, needing to chase big scores in game. And that'll get better with every game. That'll get better with experience. You saw that with the Namibian side, the likes of Yasmin Khan. They've been around for a lot longer. So the experience of how to build an innings, when to launch into the bowling, and how to manipulate the field and yield comes into the equation. They'll only grow, and I think these tournaments are built for that, right? It gives you the platform to go on to bigger things. But the bowling has been excellent so far. Just as I say that, though, commentators curse. That's a bit of a shocker.
Oh dear. It was very wide and nothing the keeper Yasmin Khan could do about it. Results in an extra 9 without loss. In fact, make that 11 without loss. The last ball coming up of the 5th over.
Yeah, barring that last delivery, it's been a very disciplined for her. Back on the money. Good to see.
5 overs went without loss.
11 for no loss. And as we said earlier, the bowling very distant so far. The fielding has been excellent. And in a pretty big run chase, it's not the ideal start for the Nigeria women so far. At some stage, they're going to have to get a move on. Again, not being able to find the gaps, not being able to rotate the strike. And this could come back to hurt them later in the innings as well. Sudarshan, we talked, just the power play being so influential. The first 6 overs and the last 5 always dictate tempo of the game. And so far, there's only one side that's dictating that tempo, and that's Namibia.
I tell you what, this tournament has thrown up some, I'll get to it, some interesting tactics when it comes to the last over of the power play, because we've already seen 2 maiden overs being played out in the 6th ball of an inning. So 6th over, a bigger pardon, of an inning. So that's interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm not sure the batters to come will find that too interesting. They'll be wanting a few more runs on the board quickly because it's not helping the cause. And earlier, the biggest run chase required in the tournament so far. But what a start this is. Really, we can't talk about it enough. 12 for no loss. Fabulous bowling.
Player Sport is India's #1 gaming destination. Make sure to get involved in the match by making your team in the app. As we see, Erine Fun comes into the attack for the first time.
Again, one of the more successful bowlers. 4 wickets so far. A best of 4 for 7 versus Uganda back in 2019. Experienced campaigner, Erine. And straight into the attack, right on the money. That's all that you can ask for from a seasoned campaigner.
Indeed. 13 without loss. Omoni Esika yet to get off the mark. Finally, she does it. Finally, she gets one going through covers. That will make her feel a little bit better, probably.
Yeah, seems to be more comfortable with the ball outside the off stump, Omonye. As soon as she's strangled for room in the patch, she's finding it hard to get it off the square at all. And I think a little bit of width has helped the cause there. Finally off the mark. That'll put a smile on her face and her teammates as well.
Quick single again. I am in conversation with Suhail Chandok in the Combox, who's not just a broadcaster, he's also been a Cricket Australia high performance coach with the South Australia Cricket Association. How do you treat players when they don't have enough as Nigeria?
So just repeat that for me, Sudarshan. Sorry, didn't quite catch you.
I was talking about these players not having enough exposure. How do you as a coach help in that sense as well?
I think it's match experience. It's about creating match situations and situations around training that are similar to these experiences, right? You can easily create match situations and game skills sessions as well, where the pressure is on, and the pressure is certainly on here. 14 for no loss. Still excellent bowling, excellent fielding. And that's a great power play as well, as we talked about from Namibia. We'll come back to that in just a bit.
ordeal for Nigerian openers has ended because the first wicket is down. It's 14 for 1. It is Favour Esigbi who's been run out. Here's a look at it again.
Yeah, and for again could have easily been avoided, but it just adds misery to this run chase so far. It hasn't quite got going. We saw they were 52 for 8 in 20 overs when they last took each other on, and we're seeing similar struggles again versus the Namibians. Got a feeling that's a drop chance there, Sudarshan. I think that's gone straight off the face of the bat and through the keeper.
Whatever it is, Blessing at Tim is playing because she's off the single. 7 overs gone. It's 10 for 1. For 1, Blessing at him. The highest run score for Nigeria takes strike. Kaylin once again rushing to a last one of ready.
Yeah, she's bowled superbly. So used the flight nicely. She's beat the batters in the air, had a bit of turn, and she's also areas not afraid to flight it early. And I think that enables her to actually make the batters just use their feet, take the risk element. And we haven't quite seen them do that so far. Nigeria need to move on quickly, but fabulous bowling. And no surprises, Sudarshan, that she is bowling her quota of overs early.
It gives the batters all that less amount of time to think about what to do. Because you see, she doesn't have a long run up as well.
Yeah, you look at the over rate, and it's a lot quicker than Nigeria's, I can tell you that much. They are racing through this ready before the umpire's back at his mark as well. That's how quickly she's getting through her overs here.
Excellent bowling. She's just given away 2 runs and Blessing at him now. I must say she's struck at the crease, not able to play at all.
And this is where you've got to start. I talked about the element of taking strategic risks, but just the ability to, well, the bat's gone far, but thankfully the ball's gone further, and that could be trickling away for a boundary, but no, should be 2, could be 3 if they hurry. But finally, some runs on the board again. Interesting.
Indeed, the ball's gone to New York, the bat's gone to London, but the end result, I think it's a couple of runs for Blessing at him, who will be really happy that she's moved away from that 1-run score.
Yeah, and I was talking about that element of a strategic risk. It doesn't mean you have to go over the top. It could even mean stepping down the wicket and pushing towards a gap that's between overs and mid-off, finding a small gap and finding the ability to rotate the strike, which they haven't quite done. This time, squeezes it through the gap.
Finds the gap with that back foot cut there for Blessing at him. Yeah, it's a fair point. You say they should make use of the feet, as we'll take that in the next over as 8 overs are gone. Nigeria just 18 for 1. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Make a match-winning team and win up to ₹5 crores every day on the app. The link is in the description. As you see a change in bowling. And it almost immediately bears fruit. First ball wicket for Sylvia Shihepo as Nigeria lose their second.
Wicket in the tournament. Doesn't get any better than that. Easy as you like. First ball for her in today's encounter, and a nice catch to mid-off. Just couldn't quite get enough power behind it as well. Little late on that. Yeah, 18 for 2 and more trouble for Nigeria. And the bowling is not getting any worse. It's getting better.
Indeed, there's no respite for any of the batters. Be it the longer one who's in the middle, Omone Asika, who's on 1 of 12, or the new ones who are walking in.
Yeah, normally you want the set batsman to be able to help you through these, but sadly Omonia hasn't quite found her feet either. And I think that's a bit of a problem at the moment for Nigeria.
That's hit nicely. That's hit nicely through the offside. Lovely way to get going for Esther Sandy. That'll make her feel good.
Well, she's walked out and says, "What's the fuss about? This easy as you like." Finds the gap, shows the rest of her teammates how it should be done. Beautifully played, waits for and places it through covers. And that is exactly how you've got to get the job done. Minimal fuss, all timing, but he finds the gap. And again.
Again, the same region, but half stop means that they get a single. Fancy being a seamer when Kaylin Ann Green is on, Suhail, because she gets through her overs quickly, which means less amount of rest for the seamer at the other end.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much time to just dawdle off at third man, that's for sure. It's a quick turnaround when Kaylin is at the other end. Thankfully for Sylvia Shepherd, threw her overs already and a great delivery. And we talked about this earlier, when the ball's tailing back into Omonie, she doesn't look comfortable. I think that's something that
That's hit through the offside. We'll get another single. $23 for 2 after 8.4. $24 for 2 right now as Sylvia Shihepo on top of the mark. Esther Sandy. That's again pushed through the offside, won't get a run. But really there seems to be no return for Nigeria from this position. That brings the 9th over to a close. A successful over for Sylvia Shihepo. Nigeria are 24 for 2, another 133 runs away. $24 for 2 after 9. Another change in the bowling. No respite, as I said, as Victor Hamuniela is the new batter in.
Yeah, with ball in hand, she has been terrific for Namibia. 4 for 8 versus Nigeria in their previous encounter. She backed it up with 4 for 15 in another encounter as well. She has been excellent. So the task not getting any easier, and what helps is she's got a left-handed batter on strike as well, who's not finding the middle of the bat, not finding the gaps, not been able to get it past the square. So should be a nice easy start to this spell for Victoria Hamunyela.
Is that gone? Is that gone? Yasmin Khan is very nifty with the gloves. Whip the base off as another wicket falls for Nigeria. Umone Asika has to depart.
Well, in some sense, I think that's a blessing in disguise. You know, she's really been, the runs haven't come and it's dried up for Nigeria as a result. Brilliantly floated. A bit of turn. Great from Yasmin Khan as well. She was excellent with the bat, great with the gloves. And already 13th wicket in the total for Victoria Hamunyela. Highest wicket by some margin.
.24 for 3, and the Nigerian procession continues as another wicket falls. 24 for 3. Efosa Joy is the new batter in. Still to see Salome Sunday in the middle. That's a bit of surprise for me. 24 for 3.
Well, they do need a little joy, Sudarshan. So maybe a little promotion up the order was needed. There's been a lack of it so far in this innings for Nigeria. Wanted the wide, but it was well within the tram lines. She's been phenomenal. Victoria Hamunyela, 13 wickets in the tournament, 2 four-fers already. And you're seeing evidence of the skill on display in her first over. That should be wide.
It's almost puzzling to see, because before this tournament started, Hamunyela had played 12 T20s and had bowled in only 6 of them. I don't know what they didn't see that earlier.
Clearly done a bit of work, or had a chat with someone saying, guys, give me the ball, because this is what I can do. Suddenly, she's got more wickets in the tournament than anyone else from any other side. And one thing's for certain, that ball's not going to be leaving her hand anytime soon.
What's interesting is that she's able to manage to get some drift away from the right-hander. We've seen that. We talk about this. I would like to have your thoughts on it as 10 over. Back again, 25 for 3. We're talking about Victoria Hamunyela. You see that these bowlers don't really impart a lot of body into their deliveries, but yet Victoria Hamunyela is being one bowler who's got that drift away from the right-hander. What could be the reason, you think, and how good is her bowling action?
Well, the ability to go through with your action, but don't disregard what the ball is doing, because we often talk about shining the ball for the fast bowlers, but it's equally as crucial for a spinner as well, using the shiny side to get the ball to drift as well. It's such a critical when you're bowling with a new ball as a spinner. I mean, I used to use it when I was bowling in the power plays. I loved bowling in the power plays for that reason as well. Obviously, playing in England and Australia at the time, I was up against guys who weren't as comfortable against spin, so that helped. But you're seeing that here with Victoria Hamunyela. She's got the control, she's got the guile, but what's beautiful to see is that she's got the confidence in her own skill sets to be able to execute it.
You talked about the over rate a while ago, and it's easier to maintain a high over rate when you're dominating, aren't you? See, Sylvia Shepo is running to her bowling mark.
Well, the ball hasn't left the square, and that helps. It's been back in the hands before the umpire can be back at his mark. And again, evidence of that. A big swing, but can't quite connect. And this is where you've got to think as a batter, is it worth just going for the big hits and not quite finding your feet and finding the middle? or is it worth just noodling the ball around, finding the single, rotating the strike till you find yourself comfortable in the middle?
Another swing and a miss there. 10.5 overs, 26 for 3. Suddenly seems that someone came and changed that batting track. It looked so good in the first innings.
Yeah, really looks like they're playing on a different track altogether. It's been an approach that's been questionable at times, but I think the bowling has so disciplined that it's made it hard for Nigeria.
Very quick single. I think they might have tried a run out, but it's not. As that brings the 11th over to a close, 27 for 3 Nigeria. Seven for 3 after 11. We are in conversation with Suhail Chandok, who's with me in the commentary box as Victoria Hamuniela gets ready for her second over.
Yeah, let's remind all our viewers, she took 4 for 8 versus Nigeria last time around. And finally, using her feet, that's great to see. Positivity, lack that in this chase completely. And this is that element of using your feet, short of risk, really not that much involved in it, keeping it down the ground and 4 as a reward. Fantastic. That's what we want to see more of.
Indeed, I was just about to ask you what the batters could do when there's not much pace on the ball of a spinner. I think Professor Joy just told us what could.
Yeah, it really isn't difficult when you know you've got time on your hands as well. It's not turning big, so with the ball turning into you, you can afford to use your feet. If you're not there to the pitch of the ball, block it, look for a single, and it's still a positive result for you. When you're staying in your crease and trying to block every delivery, it's a win for the bowler. Again, good intent.
Lead 11.3 overs, 32 for 3. Hamuniela is also getting through her overs quickly despite that boundary. She's done half of her over already.
Well, she's seen Kayleen Green in action and thinks she's got to emulate that. But again, big swing. Hoiks it towards deep mid-wicket. Excellent work on the field, though. That's been a hallmark of this Namibia side. Should keep it down to just 2, I would think.
Excellent use of the feet. Took the aerial route, did Esther Sandy. But the ball didn't have enough legs for it to cross the fence. Excellent work, as you said. And I think Namibia can already see the finals in sight.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy prediction from here on, Sudarshan. But it's been helped by the bowling unit just coming to the fore when they needed to. We talk about the importance of the power play, and that was controlled by the bowling unit of Namibia.
Right, last ball to go in this 12th over, 35 for 3. Suhail, thanks a lot for your time. It was lovely chatting to you in this commentary.
No, enjoyed it, Sudarshan. Great to see the Namibian women come to the fore. Nice to see the confidence with which they're going through this. And I think it bodes well for them going into the final with the highest score in the tournament, and enjoyed being by your side as well. Thanks.
Nice forward back foot defense to end the over. 35 for 3 after 12. Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. sign up on the app and get 100% cash back on your first deposit. Hashtag Khelakya. As we see Sylvia Shihepo back for her third. She's literally rushing through her overs, and so are Namibia, who have Nigeria on the mat at 35 for 3. As I am joined by, once again, Ananya Upendran. The thoughts on this seamer? She's running back to her step, to her mark, and getting through her overs quickly.
I think it's a sign of her fitness as Nigeria try to sneak a run there. I think they managed it. It's a sign of her fitness that she's running in and she's jogging back to her mark. She clearly wants to get this over with quickly. I think Namibia can clearly see that those finals now. They just want to finish the job, wrap this up as quickly as possible.
That's full. That's nicely flicked away, but there is protection. The ball's hardly traveling beyond that inner circle. 120 more needed. 45 balls in hand. This is not about that anymore, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's just getting through the overs for Namibia. For Nigeria, well,
Another push through the offside. Really struggle. The struggle has been real for Nigeria. The top three, if you look at them, Sigby favored 10 of 29. Omonia Asika really didn't get going, 2 of 17. And Etim Blessing slipped earlier in the bud. As if it was a joy, only managed to hit it straight back to the bowler. These two have one boundary each to their credit. Trying to force the issue on the offside. That's excellent fielding. Kaylin Green stopping it in the motion with the right hand. That ends the over number 13. Nigeria 3 down for 36. For 3 after 13. Make sure you participate in the game via the Player Spot Fantasy app. Download it from the link in the description as Victoria Muniela continues her merry ways with the ball. Already bowled, 9 runs given away, just one. Picked up a wicket as well. 36 for 3. There's width on offer. Lester Sandy trashes it through the offside, doesn't go for 4. Nigeria on their big day are seemingly without their captain in Samantha Agazuma, who we saw in that first inning injured her knee. Otherwise, she could have at some point walked out to bat already.
yes, I'm sure had she been available, she may have come out much earlier. But I'm also surprised to see no Salome Sunday yet. She has been one of Nigeria's better batters. So for her to be batting so low, a strong shot there from Esther Sandy. But yeah, it seems strange that Salome Sunday, who showed some good form even in the previous game, she got a quick fire. She scored a few boundaries, and that's exactly what Nigeria need right now.
Everybody is waiting for Sunday, isn't it? Be it on the field or off it. That ends Victoria Hamuniela's third over. $39 for 3 after 14. 6 overs left, 118 more to get. It's really been a strangle, not just by spinners, but also the seamers, not giving any width, not giving any bad balls. Nigeria crawling their way, 39 for 3. You see another one straight to the fielder. The situation that Namibia find themselves in means that they can have extra fielders inside the circle. We only see a third man and possibly a fine leg in position at the fence, but no easy singles on offer as well.
Again, well, I think that's a reflection probably of the lack of power of Nigerian batters, and also, just a reflection of the outfield itself. It's not very quick. You can chase it down. It does slow up as it gets to the boundary. So it's probably a combination of factors. And yes, they are ahead in the game, so they can afford to attack. And it seems like Sylvia Sheheppo has picked up her second wicket, easily caught at point by DD4.
It was a short ball. She tried to take the aerial route, but all she managed was a slice to backward point where Dita doesn't miss it. Fourth wicket down for Nigeria. They are 39 for 4 now. $39 for 4 after 14.3 overs. We finally see Salome Sunday in the middle. Remember, it's the first semi-final in progress. Namibia have already set a foot in that final, which is tomorrow afternoon, local time. We are also counting down to that first and only test between England and India in Bristol next Wednesday. And England have pruned their squad from that 17-member announced to a 15-member squad. No leg spinner Sarah Glenn and no Freya Davis. There are a couple of changes as we see Salome Sunday get ready. That's Defosa Joy, which possibly means, in terms of that test match, that there is a huge chance that Natasha Farron, the left arm seamer, could make an appearance, a change in angle for the Indian batters to contend with.
Well, if Farron does get a game, as we saw Joy squeeze that ball through the infield, a couple of runs, I think. Well, if Natasha Farron does get a game, I think I'll be very, very happy for one. She has, been incredible over the last couple of years. Found her way back into that England squad, so will be a deserved maiden cap. Does get one, but misfield there. Will cost a run, but I do think it's likely that Kate Cross will be ahead of her in the pecking order. It looks like the end of the over. 15 overs gone. 41 for 4, Nigeria.
PlayerSport is India's #1 gaming destination. Sign up on the PlayerSport app and get 100% cashback on your first deposit. Hashtag Khela Kya. The link is in the description. You can download the app. So talking about that test match. And yet again, there's enough width there for Efosa Joy to track to the offside. Just now makes it to the fence for a boundary. Valiant effort, but the ball wins.
I think Didi Forrester dragged the ball along with chased quite nicely. It slowed up, looked to have stopped it, but I think she dragged it back with her. Lucky 4 runs. Nigeria will take it nonetheless. They've been struggling to find any runs. They'll take whatever they can.
Has she done it? Has Yasmin Khan done it? Yes, says the umpire. Just needed. It was a joy. A millisecond to lift her foot up, and Yasmin Khan had done a trick. 5th wicket down for Nigeria.
It's excellent work there from Yasmin Khan. Again, we see Victoria Hamuniala tossing the ball up close to that wide line, getting it to drift away. Batter drawn into that expansive drive, but she drags her foot out. Yasmin Khan does the rest. Excellent bowling from Hamuniala and the work from Yasmin Khan.
.46 for 5 after 15.3. Yasmin Khan, not just having a bat or a ball, she's having a glove as well, a catch and 2 stumpings already. As Agatha Obulor walks into the middle. Slight hold up as Namibia getting their field right to Agatha. Remember, this is the first semi-final. The second semi-final is coming up between Kenya and Rwanda. It is just over an hour from now, the afternoon game. Yet again finds the fielder on the circle on the offside, but we're talking about Kate Cross being an early contender to make the England test side. But no Sarah Glenn, the leg spinner. Does that surprise you?
Yes, it did. In fact, I think I just assumed that Sarah Glenn would make her test debut for England in this game. But I think it makes sense when you think about it. India, Smriti Mandhana will open, Deepti Sharma most likely going to play. So that's 2 left-handers in the top order. And with Sophie Eccleston, you already have someone who's taking the ball away from the right-hander. So, and it's probably also a reflection on the kind of surface that England want to have. They're definitely not going to want something that will deteriorate and bring the spinners into play. So it's probably a reflection of that they will have a seam-heavy attack. And additionally, I also think it makes sense to release Glenn to get some match practice and some overs under her belt, because she's not going to in any way mimic Poonam Yadav at all. So it won't help batters. 16th over comes to an end. Nigeria 46 for 5.
Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. Hashtag Khelakya. To download the app from the link in the description as Arena Fun Wheel continues. That's it nicely to the onside. The chase. It should get a couple as the score moves to 48. Remember to send in your questions related to the Indian squad for the series against England. We'll be reviewing that Indian squad on the outside view. Also, we'll be coming live on all the test match days on the outside view live on the Women's Quick Zone platform. Keep an eye out for that as well. 48 for 5. It's almost been a perfect game for Namibia ahead of the title clash tomorrow, isn't it? The bowling has come really good, right, as we are seeing right now. The batting, did it come? 56 is what they posted.
Been, I suppose, a perfect game, but I think, they haven't really been. When you look at the scorecard, it does look perfect, but there were, I think, glitches in that batting innings. Yasmin Khan dropped at least 2 times that I remember, maybe even 3. So Nigeria weren't their best in the field, and that probably helped Namibia get as far as they did. But it's great to see that their batters did come to the party, Kaylin and Green finding the boundary at the back end of the innings as well. And they've been disciplined, if nothing else. And again, Nigeria didn't come at the bowlers. They didn't really pose any questions. As I think Suhail mentioned several times, they haven't been able to hit the ball off the square. So the bowlers have just continuously hit that length, and they haven't really had to do anything else. I had to think of a plan B. Slower delivery there from the skipper. But it's great to see them trying different things. I think they understand that in the final that there will be more pressure, it will be more difficult. And with that, the 17th over comes to a close, 49 to 5.
Forty-nine for 5 after 17 as we see Wilka Mwatile come back into the attack. 3 overs for 10 so far. He didn't pick up wicket yet. She's been really just bowled a couple of wides. That has been an interesting aspect from Namibia, isn't it? They haven't been erratic, only 4 wide so far. We've seen that teams have often bowled a lot extras. Most have been in terms of wide balls.
Yes, that's true, and that's why I said that Namibia have been very, very disciplined the ball today. Maintained that off stump, outside off stump line. They've attacked the stumps as well sometimes. So it's just been a very, very professional performance. Lovely delivery that. Mistimed, trying to sneak a single. I guess the misfield from Whitman will help that. But they've been very clinical with the ball. Haven't been challenged yet. Consistently maintained a very, very good line and length batters forward, forcing them to hit cover mid-off. And that's exactly where you want to be. You want to be controlling what the batters hit. And that's exactly what the bowlers have done throughout this innings.
Has there been a less amount of movement that we've seen from the seamers in this innings? Because we saw Atfosa Joy even in her last spell with a lot of tail into the right-hander, whereas Wilka Mwatile and even Sylvia Shihepo not really getting a lot of movement there.
Well, I think that's an interesting point you make, but it probably has to do a little bit with the actions itself. So if you watch Aposa Joy, you see her falling away from the falling towards the offside, so her hand is slightly away from her head, her wrist is falling towards fine leg, so the ball is going to move from the hand no matter what the conditions. Whereas both Mwatile and Shihepo are more over the top. We spoke about this on the very first day. Straighter lines come down over their front leg. Looks like there's a run out there, is it? Yes, well, Namibia appear to be celebrating. So that's the end of Agatha Obulu's run out. Good work again from the Namibian infielders. Nigeria continues. 6th wicket down, 51 for 6 and 17.4 overs.
'61 for 6. Agatha Obulor, the batter, dismissed at the non-striker's end. I think there was a direct hit. We'll have to wait for the replays to confirm that, but Igbobi Abigail is the new batter in. She'll be at the non-striker's end. And what's been very, not good to see is the fact that Nigeria haven't looked to fight. 51 for 6, yes. But the bowling hasn't been that tough to get away with. They could have scored more. They could have shown an intention to score more. Let's look at that full toss. All that Salome Sunday could do is play it back to the bowler. Intent seemed to be missing today from Nigeria.
Yes, and I think the other thing is they haven't been proactive. They haven't been proactively looking for ways to mess with the lines and lengths that Namibia have bowled. Another wild swing. But if you look at their positions at the crease, get back to this in the next over. 18 overs gone, 51 for 6.
Player Spot is India's #1 gaming destination. अपने hashtag खिला क्या? Make sure to download the app, check it out because there's a second semi-final coming through after this game. You can find the link in the description below. First look then at the Mezeril Gorasis, right arm seamer. And as you said, Ananya, Namibia trying out their options at their disposal for the big day tomorrow.
Yeah, well, best to be prepared, isn't it? Full toss from Gorasis. Good work by Didi Forrester, but they still managed to sneak a single. Probably not the best throw from her. She's been good in the field today.
52 for 6. That's it to the offside. Just get a couple. Oh dear. That shouldn't have been more than a couple. And Sylvia Shihepo all persons would know that, as that's another boundary that takes the score to 56 for 6.
Oh, just when we've been praising Namibia for how clinical they've been, Sunday gives everything she got to that delivery, tries to crash it through cover. Sylvia Shehepo makes a meal of it. I think she took her eye off the ball, just looking to return it as quickly as possible. Goes through her legs.
Yes, we were talking about Nigerian batters and the lack of intent the previous over.
Yes, well, if you look at their positions at the crease or the guard they've been taking, you will see, or you'll observe, it hasn't changed throughout the innings. Oh no. Terrible, terrible mix-up there. Salome Sunday wanted the strike. She ran as soon as Igbobi Abigail connected the shot, but Abigail didn't run. Easy run out there. Good presence of mind from Didi Forrester. Just underarms it to the bowler. Karasis in wonderful position. Just knocks off the bail. 7th wicket down for Nigeria. 57 for 7.
Fifty-seven for 7 was a huge mix-up. Both the batters ball watching, but I think I saw Saloni Sunday cross Igbobi Abigail. Abigail should have been the batter dismissed. Nonetheless,
Well, she didn't want to leave the crease, did she, Bobby Abigail? And without a third umpire, it seems these decisions are very difficult to make. 9 is gone. Nigeria, 57 for 7.
57 for 7 after 19. Really interesting to have another look at that the previous dismissal. So Salome Sunday desperately wanted the strike back. She actually seemed to have it, but she's been sent back on her way. Now Igbobi Abigail wants a quick single. Have they made it? Seems to have, as it's Rachel Sampson who's responded positively. And here's a look at that. Would love to see the batters a bit more. Clever job by Didi Foster, as you say. But look at that. Abigail crosses and then the stumps are broken. I think that the umpire as well as the batters have got it a bit slightly wrong.
Yes, I think Salome Sunday just walked off. She didn't wait to ask. But Igbobi should be the one who's out. Unfortunate there, but that's what happens when you don't have a third umpire. Or when you don't ask the question.
True. No footwork, but he's found the gap nicely. And another boundary. Not sure if it's welcome or not, but Rachel Sampson would happily take it.
Well, these lower order batters will be batting for. Just to show up the top order, that's what normally happens. Hey, I heard you. Well, look at me, I'm doing your job. But yeah, Rachel Sampson, it's a confidence booster, if nothing else.
That is LBW, and it is given trapped in front. Rachel Sampson has to depart. 63 for 8.
Slower delivery there, it looked like, from Irene Van Zyl. And Rachel Sampson tries to hoik it through the square, misses it altogether. Very well executed delivery that. She's tried a couple, finally got one right. Number 8 down for Nigeria.
3 for 8, 2 balls to go, and if there was any better time to get out a celeb appeal, that was it. But Irene was obediently appealing for the and got the decision.
Yeah, there are a few I don't think there's anyone in women's cricket who actually does the celeb appeal. Maybe Elise Perry does it, but everyone very politely asks the question.
I think Midan Shoot might be one. Who knows if she's trapped someone?
Well, as an in-swinger, most of the time you do.
Yes. Good start. 63 for 8. Last ball to go. As Namibia has the first finalist, it will be confirmed ball. Really shoddy performance with the bat from Nigeria. A huge hike through square leg. Not get more than 2, but that would mean that it's a 91-run win for Namibia as they become the first finalist of the Kwibuka T20 2021.
Yes, comprehensive win for Nigeria. They'll be very, very happy. It's the biggest win in this tournament by a long, long way. They've been the best team in this tournament so far by a country mile. Their performances have been very, very consistent. The great thing about today was the fact that it was different batters who stepped up, Kaylina Green and Yasmin Khan with the bat. Exceptional. It wasn't the reliance on Sunin or Audrey van der Merwe at the top of the order. So that was wonderful to see. And then the bowling was spinners again. Kaylina Green, fantastic start with a maiden in her 4 overs. And of course, Victoria Hamuniela. I think she'll go back to Namibia and say, hey, why didn't you give me the ball more earlier? And this is what I can do. But she's really been a standout for them, and it's great to see.
Namibia are the team to beat, aren't they? Finished the league stage with 4 wins out of 4. Here they are, marching out after conquering the semi-final, first semi-final, winning by over 90 runs against Nigeria. As you're right, it's not just about the top 2 or top 3. It's the middle order as well. Kaylin Green finally coming good with the bat today. Yasmin Khan as well, not really to the best of starts this tournament. But a huge 78 not out of just 53 balls, 6 fours, 2 sixes, meant that the wonderful mountain of chase for Nigeria. They couldn't then get anywhere near thanks to Victoria Hamuniela and Sylvia Shihepo, who also chipped in with 2 wickets. There is an area of work that Namibia need to do, you say, which is their batting, because there were chances given. Final thoughts on this game before we move on to the next one?
Well, I think Namibia have, they're very happy to just get into the final. So that's one thing ticked. But yeah, I think they do have a couple of things to work on with their batting. Maybe a few too many chances for my liking, but Yasmin Khan, can't take anything away from her. She was absolutely fantastic, especially after that 50. Just seeing her able to clear the boundary with such ease, the power that she has. We saw that from Sune Whitman, but to see it from someone like Yasmin Khan as well, yes, she does have the fastest 54 in Namibian batter, but I think just just confidence with which she played her shots after that half century was excellent, and that rubbed off on Kaylina and Green as well. And I'm sure it'll rub off on the batters as well. So they have the raw material to kind of produce the same performance again. But no matter who they come up against, the pressure of a final is very different. But I'm slightly disappointed with the way Nigeria approached that chase. Yes, it was a mountain to climb, but they weren't proactive at all. But hopefully they learn from this. They did get better as the tournament progressed. So this is just something that they can learn from going into those Africa qualifiers.
1-run win to cap off the first semi-final for Namibia, but don't go anywhere. There's more cricketing action to follow. Rwanda, the host, take on Kenya in the second semi-final. That starts 13:20 local time is the toss time, so do join us for that. And the presentations are to follow right now. We'll see you for the next game. Till then, take care.
Butterfingers cost you to restrict the Namibians to a much lower score. But well played to you guys. You played in the semi-final. It's not every day that a team gets to play in the semi-final. To get this started, a few quick remarks from the coach. Coach, please tell the people, are there any regrets? Do you feel you could have done today's game, you would have gone about it any differently? All the players were still very, very tired from a game where they gave 210% yesterday.
Good afternoon, and congratulations to the Namibian team. I would say I don't have any regrets. We dropped so many catches, and with that, I'm going to say, the morale of my team dropped the moment we started dropping those catches, and it was a good all-round performance from the Namibian team, from the bowling, the batting, and the fielding. You guys did very well. I must say that. Well done, coach. Great job. And like I said yesterday, we're learning. We've picked up some few points, some few things we didn't do right, and hopefully we'll go back to the drawing board and then get them right. So no regrets at all.
It's not the end of the tournament for you. There is a bronze match tomorrow.
Exactly.
What should we expect from the Nigerians when they come up to play in the bronze match tomorrow? Because every little thing counts in cricket. Because this is a ranking tournament for the ICC as well.
Yeah, I would not want to preempt anything. I want to take the game as it comes. I don't know if I'm playing Rwanda or Kenya. So by the time we check through, and then we'll know who we're playing against tomorrow. By now, we already have plans for both teams, should we have to play any of them. So by tomorrow, we'll come out with a better plan of what to do to them. Thank you. Thank
you very much. 5 games already played in this tournament. You have a chance to play the 6th. Francois, please, step up. It's your moment. You can come right to the middle. The days is yours. Well, routine workout, very clinical. How did you manage to prepare and pull off this in a semi-final?
Yeah, we're very lucky, and I think we're playing good cricket. I think we're starting to hit our strides at the right time. I think all our batters are starting to get into good form as well. It just shows you if you've got wickets in hand, what you can do there at the end as well. So we hurt them really hard there at the end, and I think we set up a really good performance there. And it's Yasmin Khan laid a good foundation again, and then chipped in at the end with Greeno that got us to a really good target. But like I said, I think this was up to now our best performance in the tournament, and I think we took to the field and we want to do it as disciplined as we could, and we did that. So I think it was a good performance with ball in hand as well.
Your team has been moving from strength to strength. What should we expect in the final?
Yeah, pretty much the same. So obviously we just want to make a few less mistakes, so that we were a little bit sloppy still at some stages during the match. But yeah, we're growing every time as well, and you just want to cut down on those small mistakes.
Thank you. I'll save the rest of the questions for the big day tomorrow after in the final. Round of applause to the 3 umpires standing right there. Mr. Eric Hira, who stood in with Mr. Enesi Habib from Nigeria. Must have been a tough one for you, Mr. Enesi. Well, but Vicky Prajapati too, the reserve umpire, well done. To give out the player of match award, allow me welcome Sonia Uwimana, the women representative on the Rwanda Cricket Association board. There were The three umpires decided that 4 people will be contesting for this award. Adri van der Marva for her 35 ball 28. There's Efosa Joy for her all-round performance, 13 of 22 and 1 for 30. Then there was Kyle Ann Green for her unbeaten 29 of 25 balls, plus a maiden in her 4 overs that went for 5 runs. Very clinical spell, they are very parsimonious. But this award was always going to go to one person. She helped out in completing very many runners for her team today. She had 2 stampings, and with the bat, she was unbeaten with a half century, 78 runs from 53 balls. None other than vice captain of the Capricorn Eagles, Yasmin Khan. Well done, Yasmin. Yasmin, please stay. Sonia, please stay. We have 2 very important guests up there. Yasmin's parents, please come down. The father and the mother who made the long journey to come all the way from Namibia to support this team. Please come enjoy this photo moment. Well, as they take a while to come down, we'll give them time to come down. Yasmin can do the quick interview. Sonia, please stay. I need you to be in that photo with the parents. Yes. Please sanitize her a bit. Well done, Yasmin. Take us through your knock. What was going through your head after the big hitting Sun Whitman had gone, and then you came in and started with the boundary?
I think it's been a long time coming for me. It's very special that it happened in a semi-final. So I think a first ball boundary set the tone for me pretty well. So I just tried to watch the ball, rotate the strike, and at the end I teed off quite a bit.
Then take us through the morale, the energy behind the stumps, the energy levels keep pumping to your teammates. You're a busybody on the ground. Tell me more about yourself. Tell the people they would like to hear about you and this profile that you're building.
As a wicketkeeper, I think you kind of set a nice energy for the field, and I think if I look down, the whole team is going to just be very sloppy. So if I don't set the tone, I think the team won't get off to a great start.
And like you said, we've been seeing you going through the baby steps and building onto your innings. We started slowly, but you've been getting the runs coming through. Hopefully you can get more in the final.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think if I just back myself and do the basics right, I think nothing can go wrong from there.
Please, the parents are here. Thank you for the interview. Enjoy your photo moment with the parents. Sonia, please come. You guys can touch the trophy, please. Touch the trophy as well. If it weren't for you, she wouldn't be here today. That's fine. Thank you. That's the end of the presentation. Been your host, Innocent, but coming up shortly is another big one, the second semi-final. The home team, Rwanda, up against their neighbors, Kenya. Good luck to both teams.